actually, if we're gonna categorize it like that, this probably goes more here. We'll call it that for now, actually. You know what? Yeah, let's do that. Because this is distracting me with it having multiple formats. I'm only doing this because it just makes it more readable. I don't know how readable that is on stream though. Hopefully enough. Actually, I can probably zoom in. Actually, view. Whatever, I'm just gonna zoom in this way. Okay. That should be a little bit easier to read now. Okay. So let's just make this all normal. Yeah, because we still have the other thing as title text. Okay, so I think... Okay, so now we've got an issue because this is more take charge of a situation, command, or strategize. So this is like a charisma type ability. Okay, I'm just gonna resolve all of these because I think they don't really apply.
Maybe that could be like big name or something.
Yeah. The only problem is I want to stay away from... I'm making things 2 words, and that's...
Well, you got bang bang.
Yeah, that's why I'm not definitely, not
maybe
happy
bang,
with that name.
Maybe bang bang could be smash.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure whether smash sounds too much like.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'll figure it out.
Bang. Mad says.
Yeah. Let's see how I feel about that. So, because I also, like, my main, like, keep in mind, this is going to be genericized. I'm calling it Saints World right now, and I have all the Saints stuff, just as kind of, like, that was also, like, oh, this is going to be a quick and dirty Dungeon World hack. This is quickly becoming, like, a real game, and while Volition is super cool, I no longer have the hookup also to talk to people within Volition. I used to, but I no longer do, because the person I knew has since moved on in video games to a different community management role. So it's gonna have to become generic enough to be Saints Row with the serial numbers filed off. Also, even when I had the hookup, I probably honestly could not have afforded the licensing fees. I mean, unless there's just like, that's a really cool idea. Here, have our IP rights. Yeah, that's like, I'm dreaming, right? So, which is cool, actually, because I've since played Watch Dogs 2, and while that game isn't specifically about, like, it's not concerned with the same kinds of things that Saints Row is, it introduces, like, the idea of, like, I can easily see the gang in Saints Row, or in Watch Dogs 2 being a crew type in this game, which is hacker. So, because even within, like, everyone's good at hacking, and takes on hacking style missions, but there's definitely, like, some of them fall into the playbooks here. So, like, if I go back down, this is probably, so this is the boss, or Marcus from Watch Dogs 2. The meathead I don't know who that is. There's not really a meathead in Watch Dogs 2. Specialist, well, there's a lot of them. Josh, Ratio. I forget what the old dude's name is. So I do want someone that's more like stealth-based, which isn't really.
From what I understand of the franchise, that's not really a thing.
It kind of is. The talent is definitely what's her face? Sitara from Watch Dogs 2. She's not really a fatality. Not really a. Well, I mean, there is kind of a stoner, but I think there should be, just in terms of role playing, there should be the sneaky one. That's gonna get a better name. But I think that's a good playbook to have, especially when someone like that kind of fits into the realm of the specialist. But I do want to provide them with specific infiltration-based skills. So, what's more things? I don't know how I feel about this one right now. I'm so tempted to call it boss, but I can't do that because that's another thing. Swag. Yeah. Asha was a spy, but never really felt that sneaky. That's true. What I'm thinking of for the sneaky one is, like, the person that you send in ahead of everything. Which I feel is a vital role for a Blade-style thing. But isn't
Like
really encapsulated. Huh?
Like a scout, then.
Yeah, like a scout. So maybe, like, the infiltrator? Let's call it that for now. And just make a note. This is very, like, alpha stage, clearly, so just kind of like, what do I want the focus to be? So we've got your ability to attract people, make deals, and look cool. This is like a face ability. So like this would be the boss would be very heavy in this. Because I kind of see the boss is almost more of a face. So, Edge, your ability to take charge of a situation, command, or strategize. Okay.
I feel like one of those, I don't know if it'd fall under one of those that you've already got out there, or maybe another one, but like hard ass.
You know, I like that for this, actually. We'll see how I feel about it in a little bit, but I like hard ass for that, so thank you. So this is like, Edge is like specifically without, like, it's just standing up to people, right? Or being like, here's the deal, which is literally the move that was going to be associated with it. Like the basic move, but that isn't in Blades, so I'm gonna put like dump all my moves that I still like down here, because I do. This is probably a lot of these I think are gonna become yeah, that's fine. A lot of these I think are going to become boss moves, actually. But that's okay. Who wants some is also a move. I should probably mark what the relevant Like, but the thing is, in Blades, like, well, yeah, if they're playbook moves, this is,
Yeah, but I mean, you can go outside of playbooks like really easy.
yeah. But like, moves are specifically like playbook moves.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a relic of like when it started out as being a Powered by the Apocalypse game.
Yeah.
The point that it's at right now, I feel like you could like, if you, it probably would be a new hack, but you could ditch playbooks.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't hurt anything.
I like playbooks. I know you were talking about ditching playbooks. I like it for this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think that abilities necessarily need to be tied to certain stats, which is the nice thing with this. So because most of the things that you do are not actually like abilities in the traditional sense or even by the Powered by Apocalypse sense, but just like you make moves with your different actions, and then the special abilities give you additional you know, usually like a positional bonus or something like that. So this is like,
I know you're trying to avoid like 2-word names for things, but like category 2 to me really like is suggestive of like brass ring or something.
the thing is, this is like these are all going to be like charisma type abilities. So we've got swag, edge.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like brass ring seems kind of a street ish way of encapsulating that for me.
Yeah.
But let me see what the internet has to say.
Yeah, so maybe like maybe this is just sexy. Maybe sexy is just a thing that you can do. You can act in a so that takes away that
yeah, coming up with names for actions and stuff is difficult.
yeah, again, I don't like that this became 2 words. But high roller is gonna be,
oh, high roller's pretty good.
Yeah, this is gonna be like flashing coin, which, you know, is not something that you do that often, I feel like, in Blades, but especially, you know, in the world of goofy underground crime, you know, flashing coin is an important thing to do, or like being showy with
I think
like
being
luxury.
showy. I think being showy is probably what you're going for.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would cover like, again, I'm only like loosely familiar with the Saints Row franchise, but like from what I understand, like flamboyant clothes and stuff like that is part of it also.
Yeah, definitely. Oh shit, that reminds me. There's a specific mechanic for that. Oh, what's the name?
So I'm thinking like whatever your name is for this, like I feel like that would fall under it because like you're using clothes that are like high quality or are flamboyant or have panache or whatever. So I don't know, maybe like a special ability.
Yeah.
That has like some connection to that.
Respect. That's what it's called. That's what this is. This is respect.
Actually, maybe that's would that.
So like, and the reason I say that is because in the actual game of Saints Row, respect is awarded to the protagonist for various actions like killing rival gang members, completing activities, picking up collectibles, performing combat tricks, and driving stunts. You also get respect from clothing, like from purchasing clothing and cars. So it's XP in the game, but I feel like here, like respect is also a measure of